Okay. Now, I understand you've been in many varsity sports, but do you center on basketball and football?
Well, I enjoy them both. It's hard to decide which one you like better because on Friday nights on the football games, there's a certain feeling about that, and then on basketball games you get a different feeling. I mean, you can't top either one, I don't believe.
You like to put yourself to both pretty equally then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just go right to basketball. And now I understand you played your first varsity game. It was a playoff game, am I right?
First football game?
Your first basketball game. It was a playoff game your freshman year, or was it?
It was a conference game.
A conference game.
Um,
Can you describe how you felt in that game? Maybe how it went for you?
Well, the coach told me beforehand that he thought I would be playing a little bit, and I acted like it was no big deal. But to tell you the truth, I went to the bathroom about 5 times beforehand. And when I got in there, it was different, but it was easier. But as I found out that varsity is a lot tougher than grade school ball, and yeah, I ate the ball a couple times and I made mistakes, but coach let me know. So I mean, I had fun though, and that's helped me out.
What do you feel your role was as you moved then into sophomore and junior year, as you were still a starting varsity player?
I felt like I needed to improve, and my role was just to get everybody going and keep people involved and happy. And so we didn't want anybody on the team that was down and felt like they're not part of the team, because that's what makes you lose. Right along, you want to make everybody have fun, and that's the name of the game. You know, winning means it, but as long as everybody having fun, I mean, that's why we're out there. That's the real reason. And
you obviously have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, was it difficult, especially this year, being the only senior with a lot of starting experience?
I never looked at it that way. I didn't realize that till really after the season, that I was the only one back that was playing. But I mean, you looked at Stephen and Campbell and, you know, Sponsler and Vaughn, and they came in and they did a heck of a job. Along with senior at Lombard, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better player to play with. And there was these guys who came in, you know, and I felt like they were experienced already. So they were really well played this year.
I see. Now, how was it to play with a different set of guys? Because you had guys like would come in and out. You know, you'd lose your seniors that were with you freshman year, and then you'd come into a situation like this year where you were the only returning starter. How did it feel to come in with so many different personalities into each team?
Well, I never played with my classmates. Ever since I got in high school, I never practiced with them in basketball. I never practiced with them until my junior year, and that's the first time I played with one. Not really against them, mostly because in practice they have 2 teams, and I was really with the older group. And my senior year, I got to play with the guys, and really I had fun though. And it's different because each guy has its type of style, how they play. But overall, I mean, we had fun though. Even though we lost some games this year, I mean, we still had fun though, off and on the court though.
Okay, you've had a great deal of experience with sports with the Midline I Conference. Have you felt that the Midline I has given you a challenge and put you up enough for college?
Well, I believe our conference is strong. The difference in that is I found out in 8th grade that in 8th grade I was taller than everybody, and now in high school I'm usually smaller than everybody on the court compared to these 6'5" guys. But in college, I'm going to be one of the smallest guys on the team. I'll be the smallest, one of the smallest. There might be a couple, but I need to take some lessons and do a lot more work on it. And because these guys are going to be 6'9", 6'10", and 230, 240, and I'll be sweating it just to get in there with them.
It's hard to imagine. Now, you mentioned college. Where are you planning to go to college right now?
Undecided right now.
You're undecided.
I'll decide within this month probably.
So you have several different...
Take some visits and see what there is, and go from there.
I see. Well, as I understand, you've had scouts watching you for quite a few years now. How do you handle that pressure, and have you felt pressure from that, or does it make you perform better?
Well, you know, you can't let the scouts affect your game. You just go out and play. You know, if you start thinking about anything else, what you're concentrating on, you know, you'll mess up with just as long as with anything else. You go out and you set your mind to something and you're worried about someone or something, you're not going to do as well as you expect you're going to do. And so these scouts, they come and some say they're going to be there and some just show up. And you don't know until after the game, but you just got to go out and play. I mean, that's your own way.
Just always be on top.
Exactly.
Okay, I was kind of curious, since you said about almost like putting it out of your mind. I was wondering, when you're playing a game, and say you've had a good game, or maybe in a bad game, or you've broken a scoring record or such, do you put the crowd out of your mind, or does it help you to see the crowd there and see how it reacts? And
well, that's one of our, every time we get in kind of get in a little meeting, we always we need to get the crowd into it, because if you don't, it's boring for them and it's going to be boring for us out there, and we're trying to, you know, work it and trying to make it look good. But if we're not playing well, the crowd's not going to get into it, and if we lose, the crowd, you know, might not come back. So we're out there trying to press people and trying to get things going and trying to look nice. But it's hard to, though, because the team will come and play, and you know, you might be embarrassed sometimes. But that's just the way it goes. So
you can't always win. And now, is it difficult when the crowd maybe is only pleased by if you're winning by a great deal? I mean, is it hard to face, to know that you have to have a victory to keep your crowd in it?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but I mean, when I go out there, and the biggest thing, if we lose and we come back, the biggest thing, I'm upset with myself because we lost. There's not too many times I've been happy with myself when we lost. It's just that I feel bad because the people come from the community, come and watch you, and you lose. And you know, I know they're going to come back. They know that it's not nothing to them, but it's a lot to me, because personally I don't want to put, you know, they're from this community and they lost, you know, they're almost lost too.
I see.
And just come back and hopefully win it for them the next night.
Okay. What are your views of sportsmanship? You seem, well, I know you do have a great deal of respect for the game, and you treat other players with great respect. How do you feel about how important is sportsmanship?
It's very important in my book. It's you have players 1 through 14 on the team, and the first top player is not any better than the 14th player. You want to have everybody feel like they're just as capable of doing anything as the other player, because that's what makes it better. You got to challenge each other out every day on that court. You know, as long as you're best friends or you guys hate each other, you go after each other out there. I mean, you help each other up. You know, once in a while you'll get after somebody and you'll get into it with somebody, and something could, you know, happen. But once you get off the court, you let that go. I mean, you guys get along with everybody. You should, you know. And there's no one, oh, he can do this and I can't. You know, he's a lot better than me. That's your personal feeling. You shouldn't tell everybody that, because I mean, you should just act like you're just like everybody else. Doesn't mean if you're well known and you get in the papers and this person doesn't, just because he doesn't play, that doesn't mean he's better than the other person. You treat everybody the same out there, and they're just going to get the same respect to each other. And then after that, you don't have to worry about things. You just play and have fun with each other.
Okay, now I've never seen you get in a fight, and I know that you haven't ever. How do you think that makes a person look like when they fight on the court?
Yeah, it's you have to keep your cool at times. Sometimes it's hard to, because the players will say things to you, and everybody's talking. Once you get on the court, there's words said back and forth, and you can't let that affect you, because once it starts. Freshman year, I came in and I was quiet. I didn't like, you know, these seniors were calling me names on the other team, that is, and what was nice was the players on our team, our seniors, were sticking up for me, and that helped me out. And so my sophomore, junior year, I was like, hey, I'm going to get these guys back. And so I started talk too with these guys, and I noticed after I played against these guys. A couple of these older guys came back and watched me, and they talked to me after the games, the ones that talked to me on other teams, and we got along great. And we talked about the days when we talked to each other, you know. And it's fun, though, because after the game, you get along with everybody, but it's during the game, it's hard not to, you just feel like when someone says something to you, you just feel like turning around and just hitting them.
You get caught up in the game.
Exactly. It's just, you know, you're so out to win. And it's kind of bad in a way because you don't want to do that, you know, but you're like, why are they saying that? Because, you know, they're down by 20. Or the other way around, if we're down by 20, we're not going to be too happy. And so you just got to keep your cool out there, and, you know, they're just in the same spot you are.
Okay. Can you summarize this year's basketball team and how the season went for us?
Well, out of the 4 years on the varsity, this is the worst year according to record. But I have to put it up to one of the funnest years, though, because we had a great deal of personality on our team. We had a lot of players, seniors, juniors, and a couple of sophomores that hung together. I mean, there wasn't one or two players that was in a different crowd, as you say. But, I mean, we just, no matter if they liked doing something else, we all stuck together. You know, and even if we lost or won, we had fun, though.
That's great. Okay, I understand you broke a scoring record this year. You broke the Washington High School scoring record. And now what was the exact figure on that? What was the point total? 2,000?
No, 1,700 or something.
1,700. Well, I think that's fantastic. All right, yeah. That's an old record.
Back in '82, it's my brother-in-law's record.
Oh, I see. And now, how does he feel about that?
He was there when I broke it. He says he's glad for me, but I don't know. I think he's kind of jealous. To tell you the truth. He plays ball over in Europe, so he still takes me on one-on-one, and he still teaches me a lesson. He's still good, and he's going to be always better than me, I feel.
I see. Now you have would you call the 3-point your specialty shot?
Probably. For now, yes, because the players in college are going to be a lot bigger, and I won't think twice of going inside. Because these guys will put me right back where I belong.
Back on the 3-point line. Okay. In junior high, there were some sports that you were into, track and baseball. Was it hard to have to give those up in high school?
In a way it was. When you come from a school like Pleasant View with enrollment around 70 kids, you have to play everything. They almost make you play all the sports because just to get enough people to come out.
I see.
But I enjoyed it though from the grade schools because it was neat because everybody went out for every sport almost. You know, some didn't go out for some sports and that was alright. But once you got in high school and there was more things going on and you started to play these sports and you realize these are going to, you know, that takes a lot more time in high school than it does in grade school, because in high school you can't take off 2 or 3 months from, let's say, basketball. You have to keep working at it if you're going to improve. And people are catching up and saying, hey, I'm going to get better than you, and they're working every day, 6 days or 7 days of the week maybe. And you just got to, you know, improve. And it was hard to quit these sports, but I felt like I needed to take a lighter load.
I see. Almost so that you could have an off season to train.
Exactly.
Basically.
That's mostly the reason I did that.
I see. Well, helps you in the long run then. Really.
Yeah, I'm hoping it does.
Okay. Do you have plans to go on professionally after college?
Well, right now I'm going to hopefully go somewhere in college and get my degree, and from there we'll see what happens. But not too many people make it in the pros, just in the fact that it's like a very short percent, like maybe 1%, and maybe not even 1% make it to the pros from high school.
So you're taking a more realistic view.
Right, I just need to go to college and have fun and hopefully get my degree in 4 years and see what comes after that.
Well, that would be great. Okay, is there someone or something who you feel you owe your success to, or where it's come from?
I could give you a page full of people. You start off back in grade school when my grade school coach told me that I could play, and be one of the best players come out of the grade school. And I thought, all the coaches give you the same line. And he told me about my brother and all the other players he had, and that kind of helped me. So I started playing basketball, and then my dad has always been encouraging me to play sports and all that. And I can give like my brother-in-law Doug, who I broke his record, and just a lot of people, Coach Doty, Coach Venturi, and plus my brother's friends, and my brother especially too, because he's the one that used to beat me up on the, when we used to go out and play basketball, and he used to take me on, and I'd be crying afterwards because he had beat me so bad and he pounded me in the cement. So I learned a lesson, but he kept me on, and kept on me for not quitting. So I give them a lot of credit, though.
What are some of your favorite memories, maybe, or some of the best moments you feel of your career? Maybe football included.
Well, I have a hard time thinking about. People can remember all these certain plays and when they did well, and it doesn't hit me until someone starts talking about something like that. I have good memories just as about practice as I do about games. Certain things that happen, like little jokes that happen on and off the field. And I don't think I should say some of them. But as long as they're, as long as I get a laugh out of these things, and there's on these games, I can remember certain games really good, like Pekin when John Tyler hit the last second shot when they're packed a place and they're dedicating the gym. That one probably stands out the most in my mind. Or and another one really stands out in my mind is when we went over to Morton last year, regional, and beat them. And I just really got into that. We had something to go after, and we came back with a trophy. So it was really nice.
Well, that's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add before you go?
No, not really. Thanks for having me on the show, and nothing has really hit me about being a senior already, as you'd probably know.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
But I remember just being in grade school and looking up at the high schoolers, and I thought, geez, I'm not ready for it. But once you get into high school, it's not as bad as you think it is, and no matter what you do, if you got your mind set on something, no matter if it's sports or acting or something, you just don't worry about anything else. Just put your mind to it, and don't let anybody tell you any different, because I heard that before. People try to make you do things just because they think that. Don't do that. Just whatever you want to do, just set your mind to it and do it.
Okay, well, we thank you very much, and we wish you a lot of success.